The greatest showcase in high school sports returns for the evening sessions as we will drop the puck here in about 10 minutes as top seed Mahtomedi takes on New Ulm. The Zephyrs looking for their first state title. They certainly have a great chance of picking that up this year, led by the Paradise brothers. Well, it's Colin Hagstrom who led the team with 17 goals in conjunction with Tom Paradise. He'll take on the visitors from New Ulm, the second Southern Minnesota River Valley team we've seen today. We saw Minnesota River earlier in their first outing, who were defeated by East Grand Forks by a score of 5-2. We move into the night session here at the XL Energy Center. Over the top seed Zephyrs. It's actually a don't really want to call it a rematch with all the players being different, but 4 years ago these two teams met in the quarterfinal round. That was a 6-3 win for Mahtomedi as they went on to advance to the next round. But the New Ulm Eagles in that game certainly took home one great memory on a great diving goal by John Kopacek that ended up being the #1 play on SportsCenter that evening. So certainly a lot for New Ulm to be proud of that evening, as well as we bring in Nate Olson once again. Nate, we got New Ulm against Mahtomedi, the top seed. So they think it's their best chance to win a state title thus far without Hermantown being in the mix. Of course, Hermantown did not make it to St. Paul. So the Zephyrs, I think they feel pretty good about themselves.
Yeah, third straight appearance for the Zephyrs here. They got knocked out in the semifinals last year, and for Jeff Poschel and his squad, this is a great opportunity for them to take advantage or try to take advantage of that #1 seed here and do some damage and take care of business here tonight against the Section 3 champions, the New Ulm Eagles. And if they can do that, they're going to see either Delano or Greenway on Friday afternoon. And, that's exciting for them, and that's kind of what their goal is. And they've got some talent all throughout their lineup. They're deep. They've got guys that have been here and have consistently scored. You got guys like Nikolai Dulak, the Paradise brothers, Joe and Tom. Noah Skillings is excellent on the point, 7 goals, 26 assists for 33 points this year on the defense side of things. So a defenseman that, as is a common theme with a lot of these state tournament teams, can really move the puck and do an excellent job getting involved offensively.
So chalk ruled the day in the early sessions. What do you think New Ulm needs to do to make that change here in this early session of the evening?
Definitely. Well, they got to play loose. They just got to have fun out there and just play simple hockey. And by simple, we mean just get pucks out, get pucks deep, nothing fancy. Throw it on net when you get an opportunity to. Be ready to capitalize on your opportunities. So if you get on the power play, you got to execute there and make those count. And, just be simple. All they got to do is just leave Mahtomedi's forwards that are going to try and beat them with speed to the outside of the ice. Don't give up the middle. And from there, they can hopefully settle in and compete. And all they got to do is just stay in it here and give themselves a chance. And they're going to do that by playing simple and putting pucks on net.
So from the discussion that seemed to surround the Zephyrs over the last couple of weeks, do you think there is pressure on Mahtomedi to make a good showing at this year's tournament?
Yeah, I think Mahtomedi's got, maybe a little bit of pressure on them. But I think if you were to ask a lot of people, and I know Mahtomedi did beat St. Cloud Cathedral earlier this year, but I think a lot of people would probably tell you that Cathedral's maybe the favorite and that Mahtomedi, the way the seed's shaped out is kind of reverse is how people have kind of thought about Class A throughout the season. So, that's a card that Jeff Poschel can probably play a little bit to say, hey, a lot of people, even though we've earned the #1 seed, we deserve to be here. And, don't believe you guys are the true favorite to win this tournament. And so the coaching staff, any team that makes the state tournament is going to do whatever they can to try and put a bit of an edge on their squad and help them motivate them to compete.
Absolutely. So, of course, in the early sessions, just to recap how things have shaken out, as we said, chalk ruled the morning session, the afternoon sessions, with St. Cloud Cathedral beating North Branch by a score of 7-0. And East Grand Forks survived a mid-game scare from Minnesota River. They went on to win that game 5-2. So as we expected, that matchup taking place on Friday afternoon at 11 o'clock here at the X. It'll be East Grand Forks against the St. Cloud Cathedral Crusaders. We're going to take it downstairs now for the player introductions with Jim Carroll.
Senior forward number 11, Landon Strong. Junior defenseman number 12, Ethan O'Connor. Senior defenseman number 14, Shane. Junior forward number 15, Junior forward number 16, Hunter Hulkey. Senior defenseman number 18, Blake Tower. Sophomore defenseman number 19, Peyton Strong. Senior forward number 20, Kyle Tower. Junior defenseman number 21, Teddy Kiefer. Freshman defenseman number 24, Josh Golden. And sophomore goalie number 33, Kyle Esser. The assistant coaches are Cody Cohn and Sean Stewart. Head coach is Ryan Newman, the New Ulm Eagles. Now, let's meet the Zephyrs. Junior forward number 4, Colin Hagstrom. Sophomore defenseman number 5, Tony Newbeck. Senior defenseman number 6, Connor Stoker. Senior defenseman number 8, Noah Skillings. Junior forward number 9, Nikolai Dulak. Senior forward number 10, Corey Polarski. Sophomore defenseman number 11, J.D. Metz. Senior forward number 13, Michael Miller. Senior defenseman number 14, Tommy Broughton. Senior forward number 15, Dylan Lallier. Senior forward number 16, Cole McCarver. Senior forward number 17, Joe Paradise. Senior defenseman number 18, Wyatt Begley. Sophomore forward number 21, Adam Johnson. Sophomore forward number 22, Dylan Duxon. Senior forward number 24, Tom Paradise. Junior forward number 26, Cole Klingbeil. Sophomore forward number 28, Ethan Peterson. Senior goalie number 30, John Poirier. And freshman goalie number 32, Ben Dardis. The assistant coaches are Alex Rogaszewski and Tom Strelo. Head coaches Jeff Poschel, the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Here tonight's game officials on the line, John Benoit and Drew Walters. Your referees are Nick Bionich and Todd Plackner. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you to please rise. Please remove your caps and join the Mahtomedi Band in the playing of our national anthem.
We welcome you back inside the broadcast booth here at the XL Energy Center. Your final thoughts leading into this one, Nate?
Yeah, excited for the evening session to get kicked off here. Mahtomedi, the Zephyrs, the #1 overall seed in Class A, as voted on by all 8 participating team coaches. And looking forward to seeing New Ulm up here, another Southern Minnesota team, the second one here. And actually, New Ulm's been a steady competitor out of Section 3A. I believe this is their 5th appearance here in the last 10 or 11 years from Section 3. And so they're familiar with this place, and welcome them back here as well. And looking forward to seeing how they handle the speed of the Mahtomedi Zephyrs and the depth of that lineup. It should be a fun matchup here for the 3rd Class A quarterfinal of today.
2 more games for you on the docket tonight. Of course, New Ulm, Mahtomedi now, and then later on, about a half hour following the conclusion of that one, we will have Delano against Greenway. As Greenway, I'm sure, a team people are really eager to see following their upset of Hermantown in the Class 7A final. A double overtime game in Duluth that sent the Raiders to St. Paul. The Zephyrs coming out in their home whites with the yellow finish. And the block Zephyrs diagonally across the uniform. New Ulm in the purple with the Old English script across the chest. And the white striping in the middle as we are underway. Controlled by Mahtomedi right out of the gate. Noah Skillings trying to push this one ahead into the offensive zone. Eagles controlling it now in their own zone. They're sending this one back out toward the neutral zone, but unable to get it out. This play continues in the New Ulm zone. Now poked out to neutral ice as the Eagles able to push it into the Zephyr zone. Zephyrs looking to push it right back as it's picked up there by Skillings and sent back into the neutral zone. As the Eagles trying to slow it down, the Zephyrs end up with the puck at neutral ice, and they bring it into the offensive zone. As working his way in there and getting knocked off the puck was Tommy Broughton as it's center, but intercepted by the Eagles, and they'll send a long pass all the way through and will have an icing call, and will result in an early face-off deep in the Eagle zone with 16 to go in the first period and no score.
Yep, no score, no shots yet here. The first shift of the game's underway here as both teams get an opportunity to change up their guys. And face-off's going to be to the left of the New Ulm goaltender here.
Jack Raymond in goal tonight for New Ulm. The stellar goaltender with the .913 save percentage was 15-6-1 on the season. It is centering feed for Skillings, who rips a shot wide. And we talked about Noah Skillings in the pregame, that very good two-way defenseman, and there's a shot from the point by Skillings, and that one was saved by Raymond as well. Goes back out to Skillings again. He'll wind up again and rip one wide. Again, Mahtomedi not quite able to hold it in. It looked at first like that was going to be held in by Wyatt Bagley, who wasn't quite able to do it, as New Ulm quickly drives their way into the offensive zone and pushes one around the net. As the Zephyrs able to take it away with Skillings in their own zone. This one banked ahead off for J.D. Metz. Metz will work his way through the neutral zone, and he'll play this one down in deep. The Eagles set up now behind their own net. Long pass down to the near side. Going out of the reach of A.J. Arneson of New Ulm. It'll go for an icing and a face-off, again coming all the way back in the Eagle zone.
A couple nice saves there by Raymond in that sequence of Zephyr offensive zone attack time. And nice job for him to get things underway and make a couple of saves early and try and get comfortable in the net, as not often do you see the goaltender wearing the C.
Off the face-off, this one sent out into the neutral zone by the Eagles. As the Zephyrs track it down deep in their own zone with Broughton. Broughton reversing direction as the crowd, I think, wants some kind of penalty. They're not going to get one, but the Eagles able to send this one right back in deep. It's a goaltender tonight, standing out of his net, Ben Dardis. Dardis able to slow that one down as the Zephyrs reset. They get it back out to neutral ice, and working his way into the offensive zone with some speed is Begley. Begley, though, gets headed off in the corner. The Zephyrs now take it behind the New Ulm net. Kick it back out to the point, and Broughton. Broughton with a shot through traffic that was blocked, ends up on the far side board. And there was a bad angle shot that got through, and Raymond was forced to make a save. The Carams all the way back into the Zephyr zone, where Broughton will track it down. He'll send a long pass into the neutral zone, where it's kicked down deep into the New Ulm zone. And putting a hit on behind the net is Joe Paradise. The Paradise brothers, two of the team leaders. There's a shot that was deflected wide. Mahtomedi with some really good offensive pressure thus far in the early going. 14:07 to go in the first period, no score, but Zephyrs putting on an offensive skill show early as this centering feed for Skillings, and he's able to knock it down enough to get a shot off, and that was saved by Raymond with the Zephyrs maintain control. Now taken away by the Eagles and brought back out to neutral. Into the offensive zone, and then playing this one off the end boards is Brendan Braxton Hoffman. As the Zephyrs able to clear it back out to neutral. Into the offensive zone with speed is Corey Polanski. Polanski trying to work his way around a defender. Able to maintain control of the puck as he steers his way around the net. It ends up on the far side. Skillings with a shot. That'll be knocked down by Raymond. Might have been blocked before it got to him. And here come the Eagles with speed the other way into the offensive zone. 1-on-2. Oh, but the trailer for New Ulm able to pick up the puck, and then there was some traffic in front of the goaltender Dardis. As it ends up back out at neutral ice. Here's Paradise into the offensive zone. His shot is deflected, but he takes control of it again behind his own net. Winds up for Skillings. Skillings with a kind of a pop-up shot that'll land in the glove of Raymond in an offensive zone face-off for the Zephyrs coming with 13:05 to go in the first period.
Yeah, nice save there by Ben Dardis. Pretty good opportunity there for the Eagles as they had a 2-on-1 that turned into a 2-on-2, but a puck from the slot got backhanded on net. And Dardis was up to the task, and Dardis has had a fantastic year as well in net. He's 12-4-1. He's given up 26 goals in those 17 games. 934 save percentage, so an excellent season, and having a great goaltender as well as a solid defensive team in front of you really helps things, and that's a unit that works really well together. So
I remind you, tonight's game's brought to you by the following Sportsman's Guide in South St. Paul. Up to 60% off all merchandise at their Beyond the Puck event this Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon. That's at the Sportsman's Guide in South St. Paul. Also brought to you tonight by Brew Pub. Lots of Matza Pizza with half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. RJM Construction for all of your arena needs, building, remodeling. Check out their work at the Tria Rink and at the Hopkins Pavilion, newly renovated. Also, Tradition Companies, 7 companies, one solution for all of your home building, buying, and wealth management needs. Check out traditionco.com. We pass out of our first TV timeout. 13:05 to go in the first period, no score. Face-off coming in the offensive zone for Mahtomedi, and they've had a pretty good offensive showing thus far as Skillings will take the face-off. Still loose in the circle, now poked into the center of the ice, and the Eagles unable to clear it. It's a good job by Mahtomedi to hold the puck in the zone. As Colin Hagstrom sends the puck the other way, and they come free and ripping a shot into Raymond, who's able to make a save.
Man, beautiful shot there by Hagstrom right in the slot. Great save by Raymond. He squared up. He took care of that puck on the rebound as well. Excellent little play. Nice job by Hagstrom to be ready to shoot the puck in front of the net, and just that quick release right on net. Big save by Raymond, however.
As Landon Strong plays it around the net for New Ulm, but the Zephyrs able to hold it in and maintain the offensive zone once again. The battle ensues along the far side boards as Hagstrom trying to fight his way through and come out with that puck. It'll come back around to the near side point, and they'll be poked back out to neutral ice. It's Hoffman down there as well, trying to poke this one down in deep. He wasn't able to do it, and the Zephyrs will send it back in deep and change. 12:20 to go here in the first period. No score. In the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, the number 1 seed in the Class A tournament, and the unseeded New Ulm Eagles. Battle along the far side boards in the New Ulm zone. Slipping and falling as he was trying to get the puck going the other direction was Strong. Strong as the puck taken away from him. It's centered and a shot save again by Raymond. Centering feed ends up being poked away. And the great chances for the Zephyrs continue here early on in the first period as they're back to pick it up deep in their own zone. They'll throw this one down to the near side as Tom Paradise will check it in deep and it'll bank off the back of the New Ulm net. Turn around trying to center it is Adam Johnson. As Zephyrs again controlling behind their own net. The centering feed taken away by New Ulm. The Eagles will get it back out to neutral ice. Yeah, these scoring chances have been plentiful, but they just haven't been able to get one in the back of the net, have the Zephyrs.
Raymond's been excellent so far for the New Ulm Eagles, and the Eagles got to be a little bit careful. They're a little careless with the puck in their own end right now. It's led to a couple of turnovers. A little bit of indecision has led to some long decisions, and you got to make quick decisions, especially against a team like Mahtomedi.
Skillings, Paradise with a shot, save Raymond to cover it up.
Raymond.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, Raymond with his 10th save already. Man, does he look comfortable in there. And yeah, beautiful play there, though, however.
Yes, Tom Paradise caught up to that puck, and there was nobody in front of him. I think the defense got a little bit complacent there for New Ulm. The offensive zone face-off for the Zephyrs. Still loose in the circle. Now it's poked up wide of the net, up into the far side corner along the far side boards. And back to the point, held in by the Zephyrs. It's deflected behind the net. Zephyrs, though, maintaining possession, trying to reverse direction is Cole McCarver. McCarver getting tied up by a couple of purple jerseys. The battle continues down there, as Joe Paradise also involved in that. And Paradise will be the one to come out with the puck for the Zephyrs, maintaining the offensive attack. It's Paradise, reverse direction. There's Skillings at the point. Skillings through the circle. Raymond had to make a save as it pops free. And play is stopped after, I think, somebody might have lost some kind of equipment as the whistle blows.
Yeah, it looks like Raymond's blocker actually came off and rolled into the corner, and I think he still ended up freezing that puck, but scary moment there for the Eagles. They do not need anything happening to that right hand of Mr. Raymond in net, and he kind of tried to make a blocker save behind him. The puck actually went high, and it rolled the blocker into the corner.
The play continues at the left end of the ice with Mahtomedi going from right to left, here in this first period. There's a shot through traffic. Raymond again having to make the save on that long shot. Turnaround shot. Raymond again makes the save. And the Paradise brothers have been all over the early going of this game so far.
They've been fantastic. You know, the grandsons of former NHLer Bob Paradise and the late legend Herb Brooks as well. And those Paradise boys know how to play hockey. They do an excellent job finding each other. It's almost like having a sixth sense, you know, or that I know what you're thinking before you even do anything type of deal. And Jack Raymond, though, 13 saves here in the first 7 minutes of this game, and he looks excellent. They need him to be very, very good tonight to keep them in here. And 7 minutes in here, Coach Newman's probably hopefully trying to get his Eagles to settle down a little bit. They've only got 2 shots on net. Make sure they're getting some pucks out. Stop watching the puck so much. Mahtomedi is very good, but a lot of their sustained offensive zone time has come from New Ulm simply just watching pucks. And got to move your feet, get yourselves in lanes, and make the Zephyrs work.
As we've hit our second TV timeout at precisely the 7-minute mark of this first period. No score, but Mahtomedi, as we've discussed, has just been all over the offensive zone. Those 13 shots, just seems like somebody's in there taking a whack at Jack Raymond, but thus far he's been able to stand tall and keep everything out of the back of the net. Now, conversely, of course, New Ulm with just those 2 shots on goal. So I think there's a possibility you can start to try to use some of the Zephyr aggressiveness against them. If you have 4 guys hanging around the net trying to bang home a rebound, that there are going to be opportunities for New Ulm going the other way.
Yep, it starts with being in position and getting the puck out of their own end of the ice.
And Skillings controls the faceoff, and this one bank off a New Ulm player and go back out to neutral ice and dumped in deep by Tony Newbeck for the Zephyrs. As the Eagles control behind their own net. As they will break out. Bringing it up the near side boards and checking it out to neutral ice. As they'll play this one in deep as Dardis out of his net to slow this one down. As now being forced to play it behind his own net is Broughton. Broughton getting tied up behind the net. Skillings down there as well for Mahtomedi. They'll play it around to the near side. Now a good job by the Eagles. Perhaps their first off extended time they've spent in their offensive zone, just making Mahtomedi have to work hard to get out. And coming in offside there are the Zephyrs. Will have a neutral zone face-off coming.
Yeah, and Mahtomedi continues to try and push the play and get things going with speed through the neutral zone there. And didn't quite connect how they wanted, so we'll face it off in the neutral zone at the dot right in front of the New Ulm Eagle bench.
9:13 to go here in the first period. No score between New Ulm and top seed Mahtomedi here at the XL Energy Center as it's pushed back into the Zephyr zone. As Wyatt Begley pushes this one up ahead. Oh, look out, into the offensive zone come the Zephyrs. Give and go, and Raymond again with a great save on the back door. As I think that was Begley who had caught up to that back door. It was either him or Cole McCarver. And again, Raymond with a great save. Play continuing, though. Another centering feed for the Zephyrs ends up being poked around by the Eagles. It's cleared now back out to neutral ice. I think we've seen all kinds of... The Zephyrs have gotten really creative, and they still can't get one past Raymond. What a great job that he has done in goal so far.
Yeah, 2-on-1 there, and it was tic-tac and just missed the toe. Beautiful play, though, there. It was a nice pass. Gave it to him on the back door. He went right back with it and just missed the net. And was aided by Raymond getting his pad out there and just kicking that puck into the corner.
Raymond just made a save there on Adam Johnson. The play moved back down into the Zephyr zone. Comes Paradise the other way through the neutral zone. Joe Paradise into the offensive zone as he tries to center this one. It'll be deflected well wide of the net. It'll be held in by Skillings. He'll throw this one through. It'll go off the end board. Centering feed through the circle and snagged with the glove again by Raymond on the shot from the far side circle by Joe Paradise.
Man, that all started right there. New Ulm kind of got running around, as we've talked about. It's kind of been a common theme in this period, and they threw that puck right up the middle of the ice, and you cannot do that. These defensemen are far too skilled. They're going to keep that puck in. They're going to throw it right down your throat, and that's what happened there, and it went backdoor. Beautiful glove save, though, by Raymond.
As Mahtomedi again controls with Corey Pilarski as the Eagles able to now get it back out to neutral ice. Back in the Zephyr zone where the Zephyrs will control. Here's Skillings up the near side boards. He'll throw this one into the offensive zone. It'll work its way through the corner. It'll work its way up to the far side now. Paradise able to get it back to the point. The centering feed partially blocked out front as the Eagles able to poke it up to the far side boards. Now able to get it back out to neutral ice, but the Zephyrs again will take control there, looking to set something up in the neutral zone. And coming in offside is Pilarski. We'll have a neutral zone face-off.
7:05 here remaining in the first period of the first game of the evening. We do 2 games in each session here at the Minnesota State High School League Boys State Tournament. Coming to you from XL Energy Center, home of the Minnesota Wild.
And Mahtomedi wins another face-off. Certainly an area of concern for New Ulm thus far. They haven't had much luck in the face-off circle thus far. Play moves again back into the Mahtomedi offensive zone. Raymond with a save, and then a second chance pushed wide. Play now continuing behind the New Ulm net. And the Zephyrs will break out of there with the puck once again. Now the Eagles looking to take it away. It's played back through the corner. Centering feed, it kicks around on a couple of skates and down to the near side boards. As New Ulm just desperately trying to get this puck out of there as it's played again around the Eagle net. Zephyr still maintaining possession. Centering feed goes off of a stick. Comes back to the point as trying to get this one in as J.D. Metz. This will be sent back out through neutral ice by the Eagles, and it'll be an icing, so another offensive zone face-off for the Zephyrs.
Yeah, New Ulm's cleared the puck and iced it quite a few times here, but that beats throwing it up the middle right to the Zephyr defenseman as well. So in high school, you're allowed to change on those. There's no real repercussion other than the puck's coming back into your own end, and you're going to have to try and win the draw.
As Tom Paradise will step into the face-off circle here. With some kind of momentary stoppage before we resume play, as play now resumes in the New Ulm end once again as the Eagles able to get it out to neutral ice. They'll bring it ahead into the offensive zone. And a good hit put on there to dislodge the puck as the Zephyrs trying to clear the zone. It comes out front, and then a shot just pushed wide by the Eagles. I think that was Hoffman who came free in the middle. And now here's Joe Paradise into the offensive zone for the Zephyrs. But he had to pull up because he had a couple of New Ulm bodies in front of him, and he ends up losing the puck, and the Eagles bring it back the other way. And sent back in deep by New Ulm. The Eagles playing it on the near side in the corner. And the Eagles back out to neutral ice. And chipped in ahead of Skillings for the Zephyrs. There's Begley trying to poke this one ahead. Here's Paradise with it once again. Paradise into the offensive zone. Has a shot blocked. And he'll take a shot. That one was saved by Raymond. Well, Tom Paradise having a good time on this sequence as Mahtomedi again maintaining the offensive zone pressure as we hit the 12-minute mark exactly. Well, then they'll tick one more second off, so we'll have 4:59 to go with this next face-off.
Yeah, face-off's going to be, it looks like, yep, the ref put the puck down there. Still going to be in the New Ulm Eagles defensive zone to the left of goaltender Jack Raymond, who has 16 saves on 16 shots so far in this first period. New Ulm still with 2 shots on net. Got to try and get some more pucks on net. They had their probably best opportunity of the game with a man free in front of the net there, and he just missed the net wide. Got to take every chance you get. That puck's got to be on net if you're the New Ulm Eagles.
16-2 in the shots on goal favoring Mahtomedi here in the first period with 4:59 still to go. But the Zephyrs just have not been able to solve Jack Raymond yet. Jack Raymond, who has just played a spectacular game thus far here in this first period, and goal for New Ulm.
Yeah, it's probably been the strongest goaltender performance of the year that we've seen, but
now, if you think, oh, go ahead.
Of the tournament, excuse me, my mind got thrown for a loop there, but
now if you think about it, though, if you're Mahtomedi, you don't really want to change anything. You're doing everything right. You're just not getting anything in the net. It's just kind of a, yeah, you haven't scored, but I think they don't want to start changing things because it's working. They just haven't got on the scoreboard yet.
Yeah, and I think that's consistent with how Mahtomedi should be kind of lulking at this right now. And New Ulm's just got to clean it up a little bit, stop turning pucks over, get them out of the zone, and put them on net.
Play again, continuing in the New Ulm end on the end boards behind the net. Zephyrs will break out of the scrum with it. He'll send a cross-ice pass. That'll go up to the far side boards. As Broughton trying to hold it in, unable to do so, and the Eagles will clear, but it'll be another icing.
4:38 remaining here in period number 1. Another ice there for New Ulm, but again, that's better than just turning it over in your own end. Just make sure it gets out of the zone, and if Jack Raymond's going to be willing to stand tall to the offensive onslaught that the Zephyrs are putting on.
As Kyle Tower able to win the face-off for the Eagles this time. We talked about that the Eagles have really struggled in the face-off circle thus far, but the Zephyrs take it back, and there's a shot again, saved by Raymond as the Zephyrs coming free. That was Joe Paradise once again. We've called his name quite a few times in terms of getting shots on goal.
Yeah, and Raymond's done such a good job tonight just being comfortable in there. He's been good on his angles, and he's swallowing up rebounds. If he can continue that excellent rebound control he's shown here early, it should be a long night for the Mahtomedi offense. They're going to really have to work to score some goals.
As play moves back into the Mahtomedi zone, Skillings gets it out to neutral ice, but the Eagles send it right back in. Skillings behind his own net. Skillings whiffs on the pass attempt. Now he is unable to clear. There's a long shot that's held onto by Dardis, and we'll have an offensive zone face-off for New Ulm. Haven't said that many times here in this first period. That's just their third shot on goal.
Yep, there it is, another shot on net, and that's what they need to do. Try and win a draw here and work something towards the net. Maybe they can find a rebound, something loose on the back door, something like that, and keep plugging away.
Face-off pushed up to the far side boards, now sent back out into the neutral zone by the Zephyrs. The Zephyrs come back into the offensive zone with Metz. Metz with a shot, rebound, Metz, he scores! J.D. Metz finally breaks through the brick wall of Jack Raymond rather. It's 1-0 Mahtomedi.
Yeah, and it was the third attempt on there. He had 3 shots on net, and that was an excellent job. The initial shot there from Metz came from the slot. He followed it up. It was a pad save by Raymond. It was a pad save with his left pad. The puck bounced out to the top of the crease. It kicked off of a Zephyr who was fallen to the ground, actually, and then right back to Metz, and Metz buries it through a little bit of traffic there where there was one Eagle defenseman near the crease, but it finds its way to the back of the net. An excellent job to battle in front for the loose rebound, and the #1 overall seed, the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, now lead this game 1-0.
That goal coming at 13-13. That was their 20th shot on goal of this first period, and they finally are able to find the back of the net. Now 20-3 in shots on goal in favor of the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. As New Ulm able to push it down into their offensive zone as Dardis has to poke that puck away from him. Later around to the far side where Hagstrom got it ahead to Skillings. Skillings into the offensive zone. Skillings whiffed on a shot, might have had it blocked as well as it sent up into the far side corner. The Eagles trying to clear it out. It'll be held, not quite held in on the back end. That was a good job there. It looked like Newbeck was going to hold that one in for the Zephyrs, but a good job to disrupt him and poke that one away into the neutral zone, but the Zephyrs able to get it back into the offensive zone anyway, and we'll have an offensive zone face-off coming here.
Yeah, important first goal of the game there for the Zephyrs. It took them 21 shots to get on the board, but they finally did that. They're 19-2-1 this year when scoring the first goal of the hockey game.
Comes out to Metz at the point. He'll play this one all the way back around. Loose on the far side of the net. Centering feed, they were trying to get it down to Begley, but it was intercepted there. The Zephyrs will play it behind their net. Thought about the wraparound attempt. Reversing direction now is Paradise as he tries to center it for Begley, but it's poked around there. It's loose in front. They score! And Tom Paradise, this time gets the goal, and it's 2-0 in favor of the Zephyrs.
Yeah, and that one there is going to be one that Jack Raymond wishes he had back. The initial shot by Adam Johnson went to the chest of Raymond. Raymond thought he had it, and he looked like he had it, and Paradise just banged home a loose rebound to the left of Mr. Raymond, had a wide open net. Unfortunate there, Raymond's played so well, and he made the save. He just thought he had the puck corralled and did it. The Zephyrs attack that crease with speed, sticks on the ice. They make it 2-0 here. The Eagles defenseman just kind of missed clearing that guy out, and Paradise takes advantage, and that's what elite goal scorers are going to do for you. They're going to crash the net hard, and they're going to make the most of those opportunities in this 2-0 Zephyrs.
There's Begley into the offensive zone. Begley on the side of the net has it taken away from him as the Eagles able to throw it back out to neutral ice. It gets away all the way back down in deep. 2:27 to go here in this first period. This will slide in on Raymond going the other way, and he'll have to hold on. So now if you're New Ulm, you know, you weathered the storm so well, but now there are a couple of leaks in the boat. How do you go about fixing the problem?
Well, just take one deep breath here and know that there's a reason you're at the state tournament. You earned it. You're a good hockey team. And settle in. Just stay simple. They got to stop throwing pucks, and they got to do a better job clearing out Zephyrs near their own end, near their own net.
Skillings with a shot that was blocked, already to jump in on you there. Play quickly moves back down into the New Ulm end again. The centering feed and then trying to backhand this one with Joe Paradise as Raymond will hold on to this one in front of a couple of Zephyrs whacking away at it.
Yeah, and that's 26 shots now for the Zephyrs, who have done an excellent job just repeatedly testing Raymond, throwing pucks on. Raymond's been a busy man this period. He's been very, very good here, 24 saves so far.
The face-off still loose in the circle. Now the Zephyrs accidentally sweep it out all the way through down into their own zone. And it ends up going in on Dardis. We'll have to cover it up. So we'll have an offensive zone face-off for the Eagles with a 1:52 to go in the period.
It'd be nice for the Eagles here if they could create some offense off the draw. Win the draw, put the puck to the net, see what happens here. And they've struggled in the face-off dot thus far, and they got to try and answer that challenge that Mahtomedi's given them.
The Zephyrs again control the face-off, bringing it up the near side boards is Metz. Metz throws it into the offensive zone with a long pass. That'll be an offside.
Yeah, and that was a bouncing puck there. It almost looked like Colin Hagstrom was going to be able to skate in on the right side alone. Kind of got behind the Eagle defenseman, but did a good job there making the right call. The officials did. That was definitely offside.
A neutral zone face-off coming. As Duloc will take it for the Zephyrs as it's quickly pushed into the offensive zone once again. At the centering feed, and they score! I think that was Metz again who scores. It's 3-0.
Yeah, and it's never the first shot that's beaten Raymond right now, but J.D. Metz puts back a rebound there. Skillings did a nice job skating that puck hard in off the circle, threw the puck on net. Metz was there, stick on the ice to bury the rebound. And just like that, it's 3-0 here. The Zephyrs take a commanding lead with 1:33 to go in the first period. And yeah, it was Skillings did a really good job following that puck up off the ice, or off the face-off there. The puck was bouncing, so he took an assertive play right through the middle of the ice and brought it to the net. As you mentioned, Metz gets his second of the game, second of the tournament, and gives the Zephyrs a 3-0 lead.
1:33 to go in this first period, and New Ulm probably thinking like they just want to get to the locker room and try to regroup, get something positive going here in this. They had such great play from Raymond, but unfortunately when you start peppering the goaltender that much, unfortunately stuff is going to start finding the back of the net, and that's exactly what's happened here in the. There's Tom Paradise with speed, centering feed just out of reach of everybody. It comes up to the far side boards, cleared back out to neutral ice. As the Eagles will gain the offensive zone. Getting knocked off the puck on the near side was Strong, and here come the Eagles, or rather the Zephyrs the other way into the offensive zone. As getting knocked off the puck is Johnson as he tried to drive through 1-on-2. The Zephyrs, though, maintain the offensive possession. 45 seconds to go as this pass ends up going all the way through down into the Zephyr zone. They'll have to regroup behind their own net with 40 seconds to go in the period. The long pass down to the near side that'll go off the stick of Dylan La'Allier. The Eagles now having to play again from behind their own net. 30 seconds to go in the period. The Zephyrs now down in the own end of it. They look to break out. Here's Joe Paradise. Paradise, though, gets knocked off the puck as he exited the zone, and here come the Eagles in. There's a shot that'll be blocked. We're under 10 seconds to go now in the period. In the offensive zone, maybe one last shot for the Zephyrs, and it'll go wide at the buzzer as the Allier had driven in. And so the Zephyrs with a completely dominant first period, 26 shots on goal. It took 20 of them to find the back of the net, but then they found it twice more after that, and they take a 3-0 lead into the first intermission.
Yeah, the Zephyrs did an excellent job closing down their end of the ice. Took away the middle of the ice entirely there, so New Ulm struggled to generate any offensive opportunities when they did have the puck in the Zephyrs' end of the ice. They did a good job blocking some shots, taking some shooting lanes away, and New Ulm's got to find a way to continue to stay simple and get pucks to the net. It doesn't have to be pretty, but it's got to start getting pucks onto the cage.
So what do you think New Ulm should do here at the first intermission to try to get something positive going here in the second period?
Yeah, New Ulm's got to take a deep breath. They've gotten a period under them now here at the state tournament, and so with them understanding kind of what it's like out here, there shouldn't be any more nerves now. Now they get an opportunity to take a deep breath, and hopefully Coach Newman can get his guys settled down to start playing just a simple brand of hockey. And we've talked a lot about simple, but really it is a simple game. Put pucks on net, get pucks out of your own end, and take care of your own end of the ice. Take care of the front of your net. So you got to help Jack Raymond out a little bit. All these goals have been rebounds right in front, and they've struggled to really cover those guys.
One period in the books here at the XL Energy Center in the first quarterfinal game of the evening sessions, with the Mahtomedi Zephyrs leading the New Ulm Eagles 3-0. You're listening to live audio coverage of the state tournament on MN Hockey TV.
Griffith, the Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Robert Thomas Homes. Carol, thanks for joining us between periods here today.
Yes, thank you very much.
So let's start from the very beginning. We've all heard of Robert Thomas Homes, but really, who is Robert Thomas Homes?
Well, Robert Thomas Homes is a locally owned semi-custom home builder. We're based in Lakeville and as a part of the Tradition Corporation. We build homes from the $400,000 to up to $1 million in communities throughout the Twin City metro area. Many of our communities that we're building in right now, Spirit of Branch and Farm in Lakeville, the Harvest in Chaska, Village Preserve Lake Elmo, St. Michael, Creekside Hills in Plymouth, and 21 Oaks in Woodbury.
Well, our viewers can obviously see the incredible drone footage of your Lakeville properties that Robert Thomas Homes have put together. That is an absolute gorgeous. That's got to be a crown jewel of some of the things you've done.
Yes, I expect this is the Spirit of Branch and Farm, and Spirit of Branch and Farm is a very, very special community. We've been the top-selling community in the Twin Cities for the past 3 years, and there's a wide variety of architectural designs and homes that we offer in addition to miles of parks, a phenomenal community center, and pools. There's just so many great things that neighborhood has to offer.
So let's talk about your target market then. Who do you find is your typical target market for your homes?
We really build in, I'd say, 4 varied collections is what we offer. One collection that's been very popular right now is our cottage or villa collection. It's a single level of association maintained design, and they have a tendency to appeal to that empty nester. Those homes are priced probably from the $400 to about $450 or $550. We build those in Lakeville, as well as we'll have Enclave in Plymouth opening very soon. Another collection that's been popular is our cottage or village collection, which is two stories, 1,900 to 3,000 square feet. They seem to be appealing to that first-time buyer. They're priced in the 3s to 5s. We have 2 more, a heritage collection, which is a 2-story, more of a move-up product line, ranging again from 2,600 to 3,400 square feet, and those are priced in the 400 to upper 5s. We offer that product line basically throughout the Twin Cities. And then the tradition collection is our larger semi-custom homes that range from anywhere from 2,800 to 6,000 square feet. You'll find features like indoor sport courts, really deluxe baths, bonus rooms, some really nice features. And those homes start in the 500s and build over $1 million.
So the building industry had a big awards gala last month, and you came home with quite a few trophies. It was a successful run. Can you talk on that a little bit?
Sure. It was a record for us.
Wow.
And, from what we understand at the Builders Association of the Twin Cities, the Builders Association of the Twin Cities offers the Reggie Award, which is similar to maybe the movie Oscars. And Robert Thomas was fortunate to win 6 Reggie Awards out of 16 categories. So that was quite a big night for us and a lot of fun.
And then finally, what advice would you give to people who are looking to build a home right now?
Right now, it's an outstanding time to buy. Interest rates are incredibly low. And I think people are surprised when they find out how affordable homes can be. First, I usually tell people, do your research online. Do some research so you can find out what builders are in the areas that you're searching for. Get pre-qualified. We at Robert Thomas work with Tradition Mortgage. Tradition Mortgage offers a really great program for our customers and makes it very seamless. Then definitely visit the builders' communities and model homes. One thing Robert Thomas puts a huge focus on is not just the house. We take a lot of great pride in the homes that we build, but our huge emphasis is on designing communities that are focused on bringing the neighborhood together. So you'll see community centers and exercise rooms, party rooms, green spaces, parks, just really hockey rinks. You'll see all these really great spaces for people to spend time.
Oh, sorry about that. Keep going.
Oh, no, that's okay. I was going to say, and understand what the builder will include, what's included, and you want to make sure that many of those features are sustainable, that they'll last. Work with a company you trust, ask for references, and then enjoy the process. Building a home is your personal space that you're designing, so make sure that you enjoy it.
Can I ask you a quick question on the sustainable comment you made? How do you know what is sustainable or not as far as something that would last? What do you look for in that?
What we look for is a good product, for example, is the exterior siding of a home. In Minnesota, that's a very important aspect, so we use a product by the name of LP SmartSide. LP SmartSide is a Minnesota-made company, but it has a long warranty. In addition, we have a paint on the exterior that's factory finished, so our homeowners don't need to paint the home for at least 20 years or more. So for us, it's something that withstands hail, and so it's something that we don't want people to put all of this investment into a home and then have to make changes or update it shortly after moving in. So these are products that they know that they won't have to touch for hopefully 10 years or more.
So that's really incredible advice from Carol Griffith, who's the Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Robert Thomas Homes, part of Tradition Companies. Really wonderful outreach that your whole company has done for this tournament and youth sports across the metro area. Thank you for telling us a little bit more about Robert Thomas Homes, and hopefully people will start picking up the phone and calling. You can also be visited at robertthomashomes.com. Anything else you want to add for contact information, Carol?
No, I think visit our website and we'll take it from there.
Sounds good. Thank you for joining us. We'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you.
Periods of high school hockey state tournament coverage and section playoff time, and one of our great supporters and partners is the Sportsman's Guide, and we're joined by Scott Eichstad, Senior Vice President of Customer Experience and Operations. He's got a big job with a very big company that's located in South St. Paul, Minnesota. And Scott, you had an event last year called the Sportsman's Guide Beyond the Pond Sale. That's year one. This is becoming an annual event because you're bringing it back coming up on March 9th at noon at your store. Thanks for joining us once again, and we're excited to help promote this event for you. Can you talk a little bit about what's going on with your event?
Absolutely. Again, thanks for having me. And last year was our first annual Beyond the Pond sale event here at the Sportsman's Guide, and it was a success. We partnered with KFAN, and again, we're doing that again this year. They're going to have their live show right on location here in our store in South St. Paul. And Kevin Fallness, Pat Micheletti, and Lou Danny's going to be on site. And it's just a wonderful opportunity for customers to come in and meet the legends within the state of Minnesota hockey, and at the same time take advantage of some incredible one-day only deals, up to 60% off on a lot of product in our store. So we had a great kickoff event last year, and year two, and we foresee doing this year after year here, and the timing of it is great with the state high school hockey tournament, and which I obviously have a passion for on my past with hockey. So we're really looking forward to it. Well,
it's a great event, and it's a time we're all talking about hockey, and there's nothing more pure than high school hockey. I think that's what both of us have talked about a lot, and it's been in our blood for a long time. And there's a lot of traffic that's moving toward the St. Paul area, and I think one of the most important things is about your store. It's phenomenal. I mean, you've got everything in there, and for those that are familiar with it, they know exactly what they need, where they want to go, and what they have to do. But for those that are usually online shoppers, can you tell us a little bit about your in-store experience?
Absolutely. We're, again, Sportsman's Guide. We're in South St. Paul. We've been here. The Sportsman's Guide been around for about 40 years. And, the thing is with our store, whatever your passion, if you're an outdoors person, you're gonna find it in our store. If it's ammunition and shooting supplies, firearms, hunting equipment, tree stands, surplus, boots, shoes, clothing, fishing, camping, you name it, we have it. We have a rare and unique military surplus gear from the United States and all over the world. We've got a huge selection of ammunition that we sell most items in bulk. And then we have this clearance corner that at any given time there's discounts up to 30 to 60% off every day. So, and then a couple of other unique things I think for our store is if you're a first responder, retired or active duty military member, you receive 10% off your purchase or 5% off ammunition and firearms and other select items. Just our way of saying thank you for the men and women out there that support and take care of our country.
Well, Beyond the Pond is one of Minnesota's Twin Cities' only wall-to-wall hockey shows for 2 hours that you can find, and they're completely plugged in with Pat Micheletti and Brandon Molesky. I don't know if he's going to be a part of it again this year. You mentioned Kevin Fallness will be in the house. Lou Nanny will be there. It's a great time to come in, talk hockey. Check out your up to 60% off on sale items in the store. I suppose that covers just pretty much everything, right, Scott? I mean, I would assume.
Yeah, there's going to be deals and discounts. We're going to have some great drawings. We've got a Hummingbird Helix that's going to be a drawing item. We have some NCHC Frozen Face-Off tickets that are going to be available, and also a special special prize from Ruger that you have to come in to see. And so we've got great discounts on anything that you are looking for from an outdoors perspective, activities, and then we've got some great drawing items. And at the same time, you can meet and get to know and listen to the show of Beyond the Pond, and get an opportunity to meet Lou Nanny, Pat Nicoletti, and Kevin Fulness. So it's going to be fun.
And then once again, your address in South St. Paul is?
490 Hardman Avenue, South St. Paul, Minnesota, and right off of 494 off Concord Avenue.
Perfect. So it's easy to get there. Either way, you're coming on 494, you exit Concord, you go north about a block or so, and you turn right, and it's right there. Massive, expansive facility. You guys have a warehouse within the store. So the storefront serves great, but then you can actually have people go back and pick your product as well.
That's the unique thing about our store, and that's the exciting thing about our store, is that from a square footage standpoint, it's not overly large, but we are connected to our warehouse, which is 400,000 square feet. So we have over 30,000 unique items in our warehouse that we obviously put into our retail store, some of them. But what's nice about our store, you can come and shop on the kiosk, go on the web, filter through our catalogs, and whatever we have in our warehouse, that shopping experience is taking place in our store. So we can do just a quick will call order. We'll go pick it out of the store, out of the warehouse, bring it into the store. And now, instead of a handful, the assorted items that we have in the store, we're expanding that to the warehouse, which is 30,000 SKUs. So it's a vast variety of items and a large amount of items that a customer can shop at any given time in our one store.
It's a hybrid shopping experience where you can experience the selections of an online purchase, yet you can touch it, feel it, and buy it. It's a great situation. So let's be sure to check out the Sportsman's Guide Beyond the Pond sale. 10 a.m. to noon on March 9th. That's Championship Saturday. Beyond the Pond and the crew will be there. Excited to see year two be even more successful after a great run last year. 60% off items, and you're going to have a number of drawings and things available, tickets as well. It's great stuff, Scott. Thanks for supporting high school hockey and making our coverage possible.
Thanks a lot. You're very welcome, and we're here to serve the public, and we're excited for the event that's coming in the next couple Saturdays here.
We'll be back with more coming up right after this.
Tom Paradise that made it 2-0, and a lot of those goals coming in were just second chance efforts, and Raymond continually faces a lot of second chance and third chance shots, and in the beginning he was able to stop all of them, but eventually those extra chances just started catching up.
Yeah, definitely there. And, New Ulm, I'm guessing Coach Newman had quite the talk about protecting the front of their own net. A lot of times you're going to hear coaches say, protect the house. Definitely got to do that. That's the most important area on the ice to protect. And too many rebounds that are just free for Zephyrs to get at. Defensemen got to be tough. Get in their way. It's okay. You don't have to knock guys down, but you got to get under their stick, go right through their hands, and bump them a little bit, let them know, A, you're there, and B, get them away from that puck. That's your area. That's your goaltender doing a heck of a job for you. Help them out a little bit. And so the Eagles, I'm sure, are working to try and clean things up on that front and then just put more pucks to the Zephyr net. And if you're Mahtomedi, Jeff Poschel probably told his guys, just keep working hard, keep doing things the way we're doing them. They've played a pretty simple and offensive forward-type game, so they're putting lots of pucks on net, and Poschel and his crew want to keep that up.
As the Zephyrs poke it back through 2-on-1 into the offensive zone. If they hurry, there's a shot saved. Second chance saved again by Raymond. As the Eagles able to clear it out, and this will go for an icing, but just 24 seconds into the second period, and absolutely nothing has changed.
Yeah, that was a great chance there, and two saves right away already there for Jack Raymond. And the second was a beautiful chance on the doorstep with the rebound there. And New Ulm defenseman just kind of watched him take that shot. They got to get in his way there.
There's Hoffman trying to push the faceoff back around the Eagle net as Joe Paradise comes out with it. Paradise getting tied up in that far side corner. 16:20 to go, second period. Mahtomedi leading it 3-0 over New Ulm. The top seed Zephyrs so far, everything that was advertised of them. If there's a shot by the Eagles, that'll end up going wide down to the near side corner. The Zephyrs trying to tie things up behind the net. For the first time tonight, really, New Ulm with some good offensive pressure as the puck squirts free up into the far side corner. The Eagles coming out a little bit more physical here in the second period, trying to disrupt some of these Zephyrs rushes that have plagued them so badly so far. And the Zephyrs again with it in their offensive zone as they were able to quickly push it down back into their offensive end. It comes around to the near side. Nelson back out into the neutral zone where New Ulm able to bring it the other direction with speed into the offensive zone is Strong. Strong getting tied up as the puck ends up going well wide of the net. It'll end up on the far side boards. It comes free to the point. New Ulm able to hold the zone. They'll play it down to the near side. Zephyrs looking to send it back the other direction, able to be driven down into the near side corner by the Eagles. Comes back around to the near side point, able to be held in by the Eagles. There's a shot, and then to get out of his net to make that save was Dardis. On the far side boards in the corner. Again, the Eagles looking to come out with it. We played around the Zephyr net where Begley will come away with it for the Zephyrs. They'll bank it all the way out into the New Ulm zone. It'll go for an icing and an offensive zone faceoff for the Eagles coming.
Probably the best sustained offensive zone pressure that the Eagles have had here, and did a really good job moving the puck low, battling with it low, forcing the Zephyr defenseman to kind of fumble with it a little and turn a couple pucks over. Now an offensive zone faceoff.
The face-off controlled by the Zephyrs as they try to bring it back around their net. We're going to get a stoppage of play here, perhaps our first penalty coming. We did see the goaltender Raymond leaving for the extra attacker, indicating this is going to be against Mahtomedi.
Yeah, it's going to be a trip here. And looks like number 9 for the Zephyrs is going to be heading to the box here. That's Nikolai Dulak. Played in the state tournament again last year. And fantastic player for the Zephyrs there. The leading scorer for the Zephyrs, actually, with 15 goals and 25 assists with 40 points this year.
Without the face-off, the Zephyrs able to poke it back out to neutral ice. Here comes Mahtomedi shorthanded into the offensive zone with the centering feed off the stick of Hagstrom is blocked. New Ulm into the offensive zone with a long cross-ice pass. It'll come down to the near side. Now the Eagles work their way through the circle. They'll play this one around back up to the far side. Yeah, the Zephyrs able to get a full-length clear with emphasis on that one. 1:29 to go in the power play. 14:04 in the second period, and I think I will say that New Ulm has really been able to slow things down a little bit outside of that opening rush that the Zephyrs put together. There was another good 2 or 3 shots on that sequence, but I think since then, New Ulm, they played a little more physical. They've played a little bit more. They've tried to slow this game down rather than trying to skate with these Zephyrs, who are much bigger, faster players. Well, maybe not bigger, but certainly seen more speed out of the Zephyrs and generating some of these chances.
Yeah, definitely, and I think for New Ulm, they're just taking it shift by shift, and it seems like they've gotten better on every shift they've had in this period. Drew a penalty, which is big. They got to try and create some opportunities here on this power play. Already with 2 shots this period, which is 1 short of their 3 from the first period, so already off to a better start.
Back in the New Ulm zone, the Eagles looking to break out the other direction. A minute to go in the power play. 13:36 in the period as the Eagles gain the offensive zone. They'll circle the net, bring it back around to the near side. Yeah, that long shot will go well wide. Eagles, though, able to hold the zone. Reversing direction up into the corner, opposed by Tommy Broughton of Mahtomedi as it comes around to the behind the net into the near side corner. Well, the Eagles play this one through back up to the far side corner as Glavin Schugel trying to slow it down as it's cleared out all the way back into the neutral zone. Yeah, the Eagles dump this one in deep. It'll play its way around to the far side boards. 18 seconds to go in the power play. 12:55 in the period. 3-0. Mahtomedi with the lead. And for a blast from the point, that'll go just wide. The Eagles again, though, able to hold the zone. They'll play it around the net up into the corner. Power play about to expire as the Zephyrs come back to full strength. 12:38 to go in the period. The Zephyrs get one last clear before the power play expired, so New Ulm will have to play it out of their own end now, and a couple of Zephyrs encroaching as the Zephyrs take this one away in the offensive zone as the long pass out of the reach of J.D. Metz. Metz, who had the 2 goals in the first period, and Tom Paradise the other goal. Works its way back into the New Ulm zone. And a couple more hits being put on down there by the Eagles. They want to crank up that physical play a little bit more than they had in that first period. This one almost taken away on the back door by Skillings. As New Ulm dumps it in deep, and the Eagles will change. 11:53 to go in the period. It's a long pass through the neutral zone into the offensive zone, and taking a shot that'll go wide is Lawyer. It'll end up on the far side boards. Be played back behind the net. The centering feed out front. Raymond is down. It was Paradise who worked his way out front. He couldn't get a good effort on, couldn't get a good shot away right in front of the net.
Beautiful kick save there by Raymond with his left pad, stuck it out there, knocked away Paradise's opportunity there, and it's still 3-0 here. And Raymond with 28 saves on 31 Zephyr shots.
Ollier almost forced another offensive zone turnover for the Zephyrs, but New Ulm able to take it away. Or Skillings trying to work his way into the middle. Now the Eagles able to clear it out. Works way all the way back into the Zephyr zone, where the Zephyrs will now have to play it behind their own net. It's kicked up into the far side corner. Long pass down to the near side in the neutral zone for Joe Paradise. He'll get it ahead into the offensive zone ahead of Wyatt Begley. Begley gets knocked off the puck in the near side corner. That one almost intercepted as New Ulm trying to clear it out, but the Zephyrs will now have to play it in their own zone. And the Zephyrs look to break out of their own zone. They reach neutral ice. They poke it toward the blue line. A good job, though, by the Eagles. And now the Eagles with a turnover. They take it into the offensive zone. There's a shot that's blocked. It ends up rolling in awkwardly on Dardis, and he'll have to cover it up.
Yeah, 10:25 to play here in period number 2. The Zephyrs have that 3-0 lead still, and the shots are 31-5. So we hit another TV timeout here. New Ulm's settled things down a little bit, haven't allowed the Zephyrs to really get their speed going to create a ton of opportunities on the offensive end of the ice, and taking care of their own end a little bit better here. And there's the additional shot. I was going to say 31-6, actually. I think we were waiting on a New Ulm Eagle shot to be posted on the board there, and now it finally went up there. So here at the 75th Boys State High School Hockey Tournament here in Minnesota, and what an incredible run of 75 years that's been. Some icons, tons of history. All culminates here every year for 4 days in St. Paul, and what a great celebration really it is to have just such an excellent showcase for high school hockey and the community-based model here in Minnesota that many hockey communities across the United States and the world are jealous or envy of.
10:25 to go here in the second period, and as you said, New Ulm has done a good job. They've slowed this game down a bit. I think perhaps there was some nerves coming into this game. I'm sure most teams coming into this tournament probably have some kind of nerves, but perhaps maybe showing a little bit stronger for New Ulm in that first period. But they have settled things down fairly well here in the second period as the Zephyrs control the face-off in their own zone. A long sauce pass all the way into the offensive zone, but it'll go for an icing.
Yeah, actually, it looks like it's offside. I think did he touch that puck, but offside, or? Tough to tell, but regardless, the puck or the pass came from the Zephyr end of the ice. So regardless of the call, if it were an ice or a offside, that one's going to come down back into the Zephyr end of the ice to the right of their goaltender.
The Zephyrs control again in the corner as they'll kick this one up to the far side boards. And the Zephyrs able to poke it now back out to neutral on the MSHSL logo that has been installed this year. A beautiful full center ice circle logo, playing the MSHSL logo. Here comes New Ulm into the offensive zone. There's a shot that's blocked. It'll dribble wide of the net. Goes back around to the near side. 9:48 to go in the second period. 3-0. Mahtomedi with the lead. They come into the offensive zone, and that pass just out of the reach in the slot. They were trying to get it down to Begley, who was streaking in. As Tom Paradise will play this one in deep to the New Ulm end once again, and the Zephyrs change. 9:25 to go here in the second period as this one's sent back toward the New Ulm goal, and they will have to play it behind their own net. The Eagles look to break out. It comes down to the near side. And thrown through, it'll work its way all the way back down, and it'll be, we call that an offside. It looked like he was past the red line when he threw it down.
Yeah, it looked like the back linesman raised his arm in the air for an ice, and that's where the puck is heading. He's setting that face-off dot to the right of Jack Raymond to signify that that's where the draw will take place at the end of our TV timeout here.
Interesting. So 9:06 to go, second period. So step one for New Ulm seems to be going pretty well. They've slowed the game down. Now step two just needs to be they need to get on the scoreboard. What do you think they need to do now to make that happen?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, as soon as they get into the Zephyrs zone, they need to not stick handle. They don't need to be looking for tic-tac-toe, pretty passing plays, etc. Put that puck right on net. Let's just see them get some opportunities and make the Zephyrs work a little bit in their own end. It's kind of been easy for them, and New Ulm's kind of been one and done when they have put pucks on net, and they've got to try and generate some offense by just getting pucks in the net, maybe throwing some traffic there, following those shots up with their sticks on the ice, and simple hockey plays, but those can go a heck of a long way here and getting the Eagles on the board.
To come out of the TV timeout, the faceoff will be deep in the Mahtomedi zone. 9:06 to go in the second period. 3-0, the Zephyrs with the lead. They might be waiting for that little light to come off. Now we are back to action as the Eagles control in that far side corner. They'll play it around down to the near side. Then will be played through by O'Connor. It'll end up in the neutral zone where the Zephyrs will retake control. And then come down to the near side and push back down deep into the New Ulm zone once again. 8:45 to go here in the second period. 3-0, Zephyrs leading. As Joe Paradise gets it up into the far side corner, and here come the Eagles the other way through the neutral zone with speed into the offensive zone and then losing control of the puck. And here come the Zephyrs back the other way through neutral ice. This one into the offensive zone for Joe Paradise. He gets it down to the near side to Ollier. Rebound pushed wide as Raymond again making the save on the shot by Dylan Ollier. And here come the Eagles back the other way, 3-on-2 into the offensive zone. Oh, a good job by Schugel who left it behind him. Now the Zephyrs end up with it behind their own net. They'll play it back out into the neutral zone. Off the near side boards come the Zephyrs with Broughton. Broughton will get tied up in the near side corner. It comes free in the slot. The Zephyrs able to maintain control. There's a shot that's deflected just wide of the net. It was Pilarski who took that shot, and the Eagles sweep it out all the way back down into the Mahtomedi zone.
Yeah, Glavin Schugel, you got to think New Ulm is quite the baseball town. Got some baseball history and lineage. Tom Glavin maybe there?
I think I speculated prior to the game they're going to have a penalty coming here, I think against New Ulm, but I speculated maybe his parents were Braves fans as a.
Yeah, and I'm going to guess we're going to get a trip here. And looks like number 5 going to take a seat here for the New Ulm Eagles, and that's Ryan Esser. Esser just got his stick there caught in Cole McCarver's skates, and McCarver went down as he tried to drive to the net. And
I'm going to put Mahtomedi on the power play. And Skilling's trying to send a pass to the far side corner. The Zephyrs trying to work its way through the slot. Skilling's able to hold the zone as he gets it down to Dulock on the near side. Dulock will come free with the puck. Dulock down low as it's poked back up high. Skilling's having it on the MSHSL tourney logo high in the zone. There's a shot, second chance, hammering away at it. And Raymond again able to make the save. The Eagles able to sweep this one all the way down for a full-length clear.
Oh, man, big save there by Raymond. Puck went behind the New Ulm Eagles net there, and Dulac did a nice job to get that over. And beautiful chance there, and a big save by Jack Raymond, who's got 31 saves now here, over halfway through this first Class A quarterfinal tonight.
There come the Zephyrs back into the offensive zone. 1:03 to go, and there's the Skillings on the front end of that centering pass as he point blank deflects it right into Raymond.
Yeah, Noah Skillings, man, can that kid fly, and does such an excellent job from the back end. He's a captain of the Zephyrs. He just kind of leads and joins the rush as he can, and he does a really good job picking his spot, so knows when he should be rushing and joining it, knows when he needs to be responsible on the back end, and heck of a player Noah Skillings is.
Begley and LaAllier tied up on the far side boards. LaAllier comes out with it. He gets it down to Tom Paradise on the near side. Paradise kicks it back out to the point, now takes it back. Paradise works his way in. He gets it down to LaAllier. Now he takes it back. Sends it up high in the zone as Paradise having to slow this one down on the return pass as it's in the corner now. LaAllier working his way as he gets it over to Paradise once again. Paradise working his way through the circle. He'll kick this one back up high for a shot and just missing on the back door with LaAllier, who had positioned himself for that deflection, but that one got by him. Play continues now as Paradise with a shot through traffic, and that one able to be saved by Raymond, deflected down into the corner. There's Tom Paradise once again with it in the near side circle. It's to Begley, or rather the LaAllier. He'll send it to the far side circle. The power play comes to an end. Shot through traffic. That one was saved by Raymond. A big rebound caroms out, and Tommy Broughton has it to maintain possession. With along the end boards, it ends up with Tom Paradise, rather. Paradise behind the net. His way through the circle. He comes to LaAllier, who rips a shot just wide as LaAllier had snuck in on the back door.
Yeah, and Raymond got kind of sprawled out on his belly there and just missed on the shot and went wide of the net, and I believe that went out of play there, so it looks like must not have, because they are going to keep that face-off to the left of Jack Raymond in the New Ulm Eagles zone. And with 5:06 remaining in this second period, we have found another TV timeout.
3-0, Mahtomedi with the lead here. We have another offensive zone face-off coming, and I think things starting to kind of drift back to the way that they had been going through that first period. We started to see Mahtomedi having lots of chances once again and a lot of time spent down in the offensive zone. It was a good job by the Eagles. They had slowed the game down. They'd really, I think, maybe brought the game more to the way that they would have wanted to play it, but now Mahtomedi starting to take control once again in that regard.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, not a ton of shots from either side in this period now. It's kind of been more of a tight checking here period, as you mentioned, and a little bit slower paced, which I definitely believe favors the Eagles. And, you know, the Zephyrs want to get out and high and fly, and, you know, the Eagles just don't quite have the depth that Mahtomedi does. And so to counter that, it's smart of them to try and take care of their own end of the ice and kind of lock things down a little bit and really make the Zephyrs have to work for every opportunity that they get.
The face-off to the left of Raymond as we come out of the TV timeout. Now 37-6 in shots on goal in favor of the Zephyrs. The puck comes out of the near side corner. The Zephyrs again able to hold the zone as Hagstrom will track it down behind his own net, trying to center it, but it was blocked, and now poked back down into the near side corner. Zephyrs rather maintaining possession as there's a shot as Hagstrom provided an effective screen, but Raymond able to make the save.
Yeah, it looked like he may have even gotten a tip on that one.
Now the Zephyrs send it back the other way through the neutral zone on the far side boards. Back out to neutral ice as a battle ensues along those near side boards as the Eagles able to poke it down into the Mahtomedi zone. We poked away behind the Zephyr net, and the Zephyrs will break out again once back the other way with Skillings. Skillings will get this one ahead for Hagstrom. Hagstrom gets this one down into the offensive zone, but the Eagles able to take it away there. They'll send it back through the neutral zone. It's Newbeck back to pick it up. He'll send a long pass down to the near side, and Joe Paradise with it. Paradise, what a stick move at the blue line to get in. Joe Paradise with a shot! He scores! There was a very delayed...
Yeah, that was a goal scorer's goal right there. Man, was that beautiful. Paradise brings it down the right side of the ice, and that's Joe Paradise that we're talking about. And made one little stick handle. And the most important thing in goal scoring and today, you watch a top-level goal scorer, is you change the angle of the puck just a little. And all he did was kind of curve his stick just a touch, only a few inches, and absolutely roofed Jack Raymond with a beautiful shot there just from the bottom of the circle. Raymond just about no chance there. That's just a goal scorer's goal. Threw it right up under the crossbar. And I tell you what, that was just a beautiful hockey play by a very, very good hockey player. And Paradise makes it 4-0 Mahtomedi with 3:51 to go.
Yeah, we saw the goal on the replay on the monitors in front of us. We have a few different viewing options for the replay view, and boy, that was just a great goal by Joe Paradise right there. That's his second of the game. 3:31 and counting to go now here in the second period. The Eagles bring it into the offensive zone. Schugel gets tied up on the far side by Skillings. The battle ensues on the end boards. And the Zephyrs break out with it once again. Here's Joe Paradise trying to get it down to the near side and Pilarski, but that was temporarily deflected, and now the Zephyrs are able to get it in deep. There's Josh Seidel able to poke this one through for New Ulm. Then down to the up to the far side. As the Eagles play it around down into the near side corner. The offensive zone is Ethan Peterson for Mahtomedi. We'll end up with the puck down on the near side boards. And the Eagles play this one up to the far side corner. We're trying to slow it down there is Michael Miller. Miller with a shot that I think he was just trying to center it. It ended up being deflected in on the goaltender, Raymond. Now back the other way come the Eagles through neutral ice. And now sent back the other way by Mahtomedi. They come into the offensive zone. Well, that centering feed is intercepted by the Eagles. A little bit behind the intended target. I think that was Peterson who had worked his way through the slot, and have a stoppage here with 2:13 to go here in the second period. 4-0, Mahtomedi leading.
Yeah, shots on goal 39-6 here from favor of the Zephyrs. And only one goal this period, and that was that one by Paradise at the 3:51 mark. And New Ulm's got to continue to stay with their game and keep making the Zephyrs really work for their opportunities.
It ends up on the far side boards and poked up into the bench, so we'll have another face-off. 2:05 to go here in the second period. So a good job here is Mahtomedi had 30 shots after the first period, only 9 here in the second period. I think New Ulm have really done, as you said, a great job of taking the pace of this game back to something more manageable for them. Well, Mahtomedi with the lone goal here in the second period.
Yeah, just got to get more pucks on net now. And only 3 again this period for a 2-period total of 6. And we've played 15 minutes of hockey here in the second.
2-on-1 for the Zephyrs into the offensive zone. A give and go, they score! Tom Paradise this time. Both Paradise brothers have goals. It's 5-0 Mahtomedi.
Excellent, excellent finish there. Great patience on the 2-on-1. That puck went from Paradise over to Adam Johnson. Adam Johnson faked the shot, looked at the net, just got the goaltender, Jack Raymond, to come down a little bit. Threw it back over to Paradise. Paradise had the wherewithal to make sure that he looked, picked his spot, and threw it top cheese up in the upper corner, left corner of the net. And a 5-0 lead now for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, and a pretty goal there. Just an excellent execution of a 2-on-1.
Well, it's been all Zephyrs. That's the 40th shot on goal. Interestingly, their 20th shot on goal was a score, and now their 40th shot on goal a score as well. Now the Zephyrs control in their own zone, trying to play it around to the near side. Under a minute and a half to go here in the second period. With Peterson with it. Peterson will dump this one in deep for Mahtomedi. It'll be played behind the Eagle net once again. It comes around to the near side into the corner. Played around back to the far side. Eagles looking to send this one through. It ends up in the far side corner. And the Eagles poke it back down to the near side. Good physical play by Mahtomedi in the offensive zone, trying to generate another chance, and they just did. There's a shot that just shot over the top of the net off the turnover. Under a minute to go here in the period. 5-0, Zephyrs leading here in control. Took them a while to find the back of the net in that first period, but they have found it 4 more times since then for this 5-0 tally. The Zephyrs in the offensive zone once again. They'll play this one through the corner. Centering feed out front for Skillings. He couldn't quite get a hold of it as he got tied up from behind. A hit put on in the far side circle. That was J.D. Metz who took the brunt of that one as we're under 20 seconds to go in the period. And down on the near side boards. As Hagstrom gets it to Metz. Metz having to fight through a body. Will end up going off the end boards and then off the back of the net. There's a shot at the buzzer, and they're going to. The second period comes to an end, and a little bit of pushing and shoving as the buzzer sounds. So Mahtomedi scores 3 times in the second period and will take a commanding 5-0 lead into the final frame.
Yeah, there was a little extracurricular activity on that one. Kind of frustrated a few of the New Ulm Eagles. Kind of got into Jack Raymond's crease a little bit there, but as you mentioned, 5-0 at the end of 2 periods. Shots on goal are 41-6.
We'll go to the second intermission. You're on MN Hockey TV. You're listening to live online radio coverage. 5-0 Zephyrs after 2 periods.
Matter now between periods here. State high school hockey tournament action continues. Section and state tournament playoffs, and we're going to talk some goaltending, near and dear to my heart, with Larry Grace Jr. from Optimal Goaltending, and he is, I think, in my mind, folks, got it all figured out. So as you're driving to the XL Energy Center and listening to us, or if you're at home listening, or you know a goaltender in your family, friends, or it could be your son, daughter, or you're a board member or a coach, this is going to be a discussion, I think, that's going to be very interesting and have a lot of impact on the position, which is a little bit, it's always been a little bit of a mystery. Wouldn't you agree? Welcome aboard, Larry. Good to see you.
Hey, thanks, Pete. Yeah, it's a huge mystery for everyone.
It is a huge mystery from the perspective of what is it? How does it work? You and I kind of come from the same background, where we had the great late Warren Strelo, who was very technical. And he had changed the position and how it was played. And obviously it's hybrided into this and that and the next thing. But there's a component that we think is the same. And you brought up a story about how when you were in high school, You didn't think about what you're eating, and now you are. So what you've got is more of an off-ice setup for what you do, as opposed to just, Robotronic type of goaltending coaching. Can you talk a little bit about what you do and how you got to it?
Yeah, so what I do is I focus on everything off the ice. It can be anything from performance training, which most people would know as strength and conditioning, the mental part of the game, and just daily preparation. It could be for families who are on a limited budget and said, we want to give our child every opportunity to be a better goalie. How do we do this with this amount of money? So I deal with a wide range of things off the ice. And the whole goal of the program is to give every goalie an opportunity to be the best goalie that they can be, not be the best goalie. And so it's important for me to take everything as an individual and not just as the position of goalie.
So you talked about making them stronger, helping them become stronger, maybe not necessarily in every capacity. There's certain areas that you will focus on. So can you talk about, I think you said there's 3 components for what you do.
Yep. So it can be different for everyone. It could be the same for 2 goalies. If we're talking about maybe a high school goalie, they're looking more at the performance side of things combined with learning how to be a goalie. And what I mean by that is take away the game itself, but everything you do leading up to the game and how that's going to prepare you to perform. When we're talking about a younger goalie, maybe a squirt peewee goalie, we're working on building an athlete here. We're not worried about can they do the reverse VH, can they do a butterfly, how well do they push. I want to create a great athlete. I feel if I create a great athlete, the goaltending coach can then build a great goalie.
Let's go into the athlete part of it as you hone in on a great athlete. I don't want to give away your secret sauce, but what are some of the things, areas of the body that you focus on to create that great athlete?
It's a great question, and I look at it differently. I feel that creating a great athlete is using games at the youngest levels, not anything specific for goaltending or even the sport of hockey itself. Taking a young boy, young girl, and forcing them to be an athlete. And what I mean by that is I'll give you a simple example of what I do with some of my younger kids. And we play a game that I call goalie volleyball. And what I've done is I've taken a court, shrunk it down with cones, and we have a center line. We don't have a net or anything like that, and we use a kid's bouncy ball. And the whole object of the game is for the team of 2 to get the ball back and forth over the line using any body part. So they can use legs, feet, hands, head. And what I'm trying to do is force them not to think like a volleyball player, not to think like a soccer player, but think like an athlete and react to what is happening to the ball itself and working with your teammate.
What type of growth have you seen in young athletes? Because it's sometimes, and I've been in coaching environments where, God-given fast twitch muscles, there's things that work for people and others that don't, and some you just say, well, I don't know if we're going to get too much out of this one here, but we'll do the best we can. God bless him, great kid. But how much can you maximize out of athletes or goaltenders from various levels of tools that they give you?
The tools that they give me, I can take and maximize them by 100. If they're committed to it and they have a passion for it, they're going to get a ton out of this. Just like anything else in life, if you put something into it, you're going to get something out of it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that every goalie that works with me is going to make it to the NHL, but I guarantee that any goalie that works with me will be a better goalie tomorrow than they were today. And that's all done by thinking of everyone as an individual and not a goalie.
What do you think goaltenders today's biggest need from an athleticism perspective is? Is it in their feet? Is it in their hips, hands? What is it?
That's a very interesting question. And I did recently just speak with a college goalie coach who had a really unique perspective on this, where he brought up, if we look at European goalies, they have great feet because they play soccer all the time over there. And if you look at American goalies or North American goalies, they've got great hands for the most part. And so when he talked about that, it really resonated with me that that's what I'm trying to do. I want complete athletes who use their hands, use their feet, use their brains, use their eyes. They're not robotic. The one thing I've heard from several goalie coaches from the NHL down to the youth level and everywhere in between is that goal.
Between periods coverage here at the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament, and we're joined by a very special guest. He's known as Matza Matt. He from Brew Pub Pizza and Lots of Matza. Matt, thanks for joining us here today. I know you're a busy guy, and we got lots to talk about. You've got some great product and some of the best ingredients in your pizzas for sure.
Hey, thanks, Pete. Thanks for having me. Yeah, absolutely. Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas. Really, the ingredients for a great time, whether you're listening to a hockey game or whether you're enjoying the game and you want a treat afterwards. Brew Pub Lots of Matzahs are the way to go. Made with the finest ingredients, Pete. We've got the finest quality meat and veggie ingredients. We've got, of course, a couple of different varieties, too, that folks love, like the Mac Attack, which is a macaroni and cheese pizza. And then the best thing, the one thing that sets Brew Pub Lots of Matzah pizzas apart from the rest, over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. I've never heard anybody say, whoa, hold on the cheese. That's too much cheese. So we definitely have a great amount of cheese. We've got the great sauce and that thin crust for Brew Pub Lots of Matzah pizzas. It's the best around.
So seriously, whenever you buy a pizza from the grocery store, there's never enough cheese. But I have always known when I buy one of those, the Brew Pub Lots of Matzah, I'm more than pleased, more than happy, and it is perfect. You're right, the crust totally grooves. And here's the best part is between periods, what we do know is people like to get up. They like to move around. Now is the time. The oven's already heated up. Throw it in there. And it doesn't take that long to have these things out and ready because you're not baking a loaf of bread.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, pizzas are the answer, whenever you're having friends over, or if it's a traditional Friday night pizza for the family, for mom and dad and the kids or whatever the case may be, Brew Pub Lots of Matzah pizzas are the way to go. And the one thing I love about, too, it's a filling pizza. Like, you buy some of the other brands that they just, you have one piece, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're just not satisfied. With the Brew Pub Lots of Matzah, man, with those ingredients, with that cheese, you have a couple of pieces, and boom, you are taken care of. It's a very hearty and just a great pizza.
Except no substitutes. The others are basically an appetizer. This is the meal. So let's talk about some of the things, some of the things that you guys do. You've got some really cool things coming up, and especially supporting law enforcement. Matt, can you tell us a little bit about what's going on with that?
Yeah, absolutely. We're a local company, Pete. We've got a production facility in Maple Lake, Minnesota, so made right there. We've got a production facility in Kaukauna, Wisconsin. And one thing about Bernatello's Foods, Bernatello's is the company that owns the Brew Pub Lots of Matzah, and we've got other brands as well. But we really support our veterans. We really support our law enforcement. We feel that it's very important to give back to those who serve us on a regular basis, an everyday basis. And so coming up here in May during National Law Enforcement Week, we're actually going to be tag teaming with a couple of different police departments, like one down in Sioux City. We're going to tag team with the Sioux City Police Department, the Edina Police Department, and then we're going to also tag team with Wausau PD over in Wisconsin. And we're going to host an event called Pizza with Police. The public is invited to come out, purchase a slice of pizza and a soda, and then we're going to donate that money back to a nonprofit organization. For example, in Minnesota, it's going to go back to Minnesota Law Enforcement Memorial Association, and they help pay for the funerals of men and women who have lost their lives in the line of duty. So a phenomenal organization, and we love giving back to veterans as well. So again, just a couple of groups of people that we really love to take care of.
That is absolutely incredible and great stuff by your organization. And how can anybody that's listening to this support and be a part of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can first of all go to your local grocery store and pick up a Brew Pub Lots of Matzah pizza all over the Twin Cities area, actually all over the upper Midwest, extend down to Kansas City, North Dakota, South Dakota, etc. So check us out online, too. You can go to Bernatellos.com or brewpubpizza.com. And, first of all, get yourself a delicious pizza, and then check out our webpage and find out when we're going to be at an event near you. We do a lot of country music festivals during the summer. We're going to be involved in a number of different things in Minnesota. So we're really excited to continue to get out there, shake hands, and let people experience a Brew Pub Lots of Matzah pizza.
Fire that webpage past us real quick.
Yep, it's brewpubpizza.com. So you can go to brewpubpizza.com, and then you'll be able to follow us there. And, of course, on Facebook, too, at brewpubpizza.
And then finally, those of you that are part of youth programs know that the Brew Pub Lots of Matzah, Bernatello's, obviously the parent company, provides a great fundraising opportunity. And a lot of our listeners are parents that are on boards or coaches or leaders of youth organizations. Tell us how they can make money selling your pizzas for their organizations.
Yeah, this is so exciting. Everybody, families have a great opportunity to raise some funds for their youth teams, for their youth organizations, and it's so simple. So we, Brew Pub Lots of Matzah, we tag team with a local grocery store. Folks that are involved with the team or the organization go out and sell coupons, and then those who buy the coupons can bring it into the grocery store and redeem them right there. So your kids aren't aren't delivering the frozen pizza. So, I mean, I'm sure it's happened before where you forget about the pizza and then before you know it, it's in the back of the car and you forgot to take it to Sally's house. That's not how it is with our fundraiser. So, yes, again, check it out. Check out more information at our webpage, bernatellas.com or brewpubpizza.com. And we've got a lot of great.
Everybody, welcome back inside the XL Energy Center as starting the third period momentarily. Mahtomedi leading at 5-0 over the visiting New Ulm Eagles. It's technically not the home ice for either team, but New Ulm, of course, having to make the long trip up here from the southern part of Minnesota. Mahtomedi having a much shorter trip from the East Metro. But no story of the game, of course, Mahtomedi with the domination in that first period. Maybe a little bit less so in the second, but still the only 2 goals of that period going the way of the Zephyrs. They have a 41-6 shots on goal advantage.
Yeah, Mahtomedi has done a really good job establishing their game and their presence early in the second period, or in the first period, and then in the second period, New Ulm kind of established how they wanted the game to go. And late in that second period, Mahtomedi was able to break loose and find a couple that they could get past Jack Raymond again.
We're set to start the third period here in just a moment, but we said 41-6 in shots on goal. So really, all in all, Jack Raymond has played just a spectacular game in goal for New Ulm. I would say he's really had an absolutely fantastic game when you face that many shots the way that he has. Yeah, the third period now underway as New Ulm able to play this one in deep, now moving from left to right once again. And the Zephyrs right to left now. Here as we start the third period with an icing call right away. As Landon Strong played that one in deep. And a face-off deep in the New Ulm zone. 16:55 to go in regulation. A 5-0 lead for the Zephyrs. Got the face-off. Good backhand shot. They score! It was Pilarski who took the face-off, drove the net, and scores at 6-0.
Yeah, and Mahtomedi gets it to running time early in the third period here, right off the face-off. Raymond kind of got stretched out, went for what looked like a poke check. That puck, as you mentioned, Pilarski wrapped it right around him there, and great patience, and took advantage of New Ulm, kind of getting a little bit lackadaisical with their responsibilities off the face-off, and puts that puck right through the 5-hole of Jack Raymond as he was stretched out on the ice. And 9 seconds into this third period, Corey Pilarski gets his 12th goal of the season, and Mahtomedi now leads 6-0.
Of course, the running time now in effect with the Zephyrs up by 6. The second game of the day that we've reached that mark of the Zephyrs quickly drive right back into the offensive zone. The centering feed sneaks through all the way down to the near side. And the Eagles back the other way into the offensive zone once again. They'll drive this one in deep. Well, the Zephyrs flying once again to start the third period the way that they took them a while in the first period to finally get on the scoreboard, but really have begun each and every period with big offensive rushes. But Raymond standing tall for most of this game with a 40-second shot on goal for Mahtomedi, just 6 for the Eagles.
Yeah, and that was a long shot on net there, and now they're getting credit for their 7th shot on goal, but need to try and get more pucks on net. Somebody's got to get the goal scoring started for New Ulm, and got to do it by getting pucks on the net.
And the Zephyrs once again back into the offensive zone up the near side boards. Tom Paradise with a shot, and that'll be saved and held on to. We'll have an offensive zone face-off for the Zephyrs coming. 15:35 and counting to go in a 6-0 lead.
And you can see the fans for our next game. A lot of orange and green filing in with the 5-seeded Delano Tigers and the 4-seeded Greenway Raiders. The Raiders making their first trip to the state tournament since 2001. A long lineage for the Greenway Raiders of not only state tournament success, but also hockey success and development of number of great players, coaches. The Saratory coaches are from there.
Absolutely. So it'll be exciting to see them in that fourth and final quarterfinal game this evening against Delano coming up next. The Zephyrs push this one down into the offensive zone. Of course, just to recap quickly, things started off. The centering feed is kicked back out to the point, so we might hold off on the recap of the day thus far as Raymond out of his net dives on that one. We'll have an offensive zone face-off, but St. Cloud Cathedral rolled to a 7-0 win over North Branch. Then East Grand Forks able to hold off a mid-game charge by Minnesota River as they beat the Bulldogs 5-2. So Cathedral will face off against East Grand Forks on the first semifinal on Friday afternoon. And the Zephyrs looking to join them. They lead at 6-0 here in the final period. The Zephyrs, they can hold on to the 6-goal advantage. They'll play the winner of that Delano Greenway game in the second semifinal game on Friday afternoon at probably puck drop about 1:30 to 2 o'clock in that one, depending on how things go in the first game. That one in on Raymond, who makes the save and holds on. We'll have a face-off with 13:36, and well, I guess it's going to be a TV timeout, so hold the and counting. We got our first TV timeout here of the, and they're going to, as with the 6-0 lead, the Zephyrs are going to swap out goaltenders as John Porer is going to come into the game.
Interesting there with the shutout intact for Will Dardis, so he'll finish the game here with 7 saves, and Jeff Poschel deciding he wants to give some time there to John Poyer. Always nice to have the flexibility to be able to do that. And Coach Poschel's coached in a number of state tournaments, and so he knows exactly what he's doing, and nice move there.
Absolutely, is Raymond remaining in the net, at least for now, on the new Ulm end. He's played a spectacular game. He's saved 40 of 46 shots. Really, the way that that Mahtomedi attack was going after him really could be so much more than it is. At the 75th MSHSL Boys Hockey Tournament, the first that will feature the Eveleth Trophy handed out to the winners. Of course, the first two have been awarded on the girls' side. With the A and AA classes, 2 more will be awarded this Saturday. AA action getting underway tomorrow with 4 great quarterfinal games. And he's saying it's the best field they've seen in a long time. I certainly don't want to miss any of that. We'll certainly have all the live radio online here on mnhockey.tv with Pete and Bart and the guys. Under 13 minutes to go here in regulation. Oh, what a move. What a save by Raymond. Second chance just pushed wide. It was Ethan Peterson who drove in. And then the second shot was initially pushed wide there as the Eagles clear it out. Zephyrs will have to play it deep in their own zone. It's 12:38 to go here in the final period. As Joe Paradise gets this one ahead, and the Zephyrs play this one back down into the offensive zone. So, so far with 12:25 to go here in the final period, we've had well, the top seeds haven't really been challenged. We had Minnesota River. They made a good, push there in the middle, but of course that brilliant early third period, that first couple of minutes of that third period for the East Grand Forks Greenway, putting that game effectively back out of reach. Under 12 minutes to go here in regulation. 48-8 now when the shots on goal in favor of the Zephyrs. The Eagles driving back into the offensive zone. This one poked away, now sent back out to neutral ice. Now the Eagles dump it down in deep. The centering feed just deflected wide. Working his way in there was Schugel. Schugel was who was the leading goal scorer, 27 on the season for the Eagles.
Yeah, 51 points for Glavin Schugel, and 18 of those points on the power play.
It's Pilarski trying to drive for the Zephyrs. He got hit a couple of times, ended up on the ice, but the Zephyrs maintained the offensive possession. So, as I was saying before, no surprises thus far today with the 3 top seeds that we've seen. Or it's maybe the 4-5 game, really. You can't really call that a surprise if the 5 seed wins, but certainly looking ahead, likely have Mahtomedi joining the other top 2 seeds, and I think there's, as we'll talk about it later as the night progresses, we find out who's going to be playing these Zephyrs. We talked a little bit earlier about that East Grand Forks against St. Cloud Cathedral game, and I think you mentioned that there are a lot of people who really think that even though Cathedral is the 2 seed, that they're really who should be considered the favorite to win this tournament.
Yeah, you know, it's on paper looking a lot like it's going to be Mahtomedi and St. Cloud Cathedral, but East Grand Forks, as well as the winner of this Greenway-Delano game, are going to have something to say about it. And Friday should be shaping up to be 2 excellent Class A games to try and decide the 2 representatives in Class A that will be battling for the ultimate goal of the state championship.
They're under 7 minutes to, or rather, past the 7-minute mark, 10 minutes to play in the game. The Eagles able to play it back down into the Zephyr zone as Mahtomedi able to get it back out to neutral. They come into the offensive zone with Peterson once again. Peterson centering feed. It's loose in front of Raymond, who's down as play continues. And the Eagles 2-on-2 at the blue line, back into the offensive zone. It'll work its way around the net, back around to the near side. Under 9.5 minutes to go now in regulation. The running time with the Zephyrs leading at 6-0. Oh, what a move. Here comes Begley into the offensive zone. Begley to the backhand, saved by Raymond. What a job by Begley to make that offensive sequence happen. And again, though, we've seen, Raymond's really been good stopping all of those first shots. It's been the second and third chances where the Zephyrs have done their damage. It'll play back around to the net where Tom Paradise plays it up toward Johnson in the corner. Johnson centering feed, and it's deflected around. I think Paradise might have gotten in the way of the shot attempt himself as it deflects up into the New Ulm bench, and will hit another TV timeout. 8:42 to go in regulation.
Yeah, 6-0 here still, and with the TV timeout, the clock will stop for that. Kind of a formality here to get through the rest of this 8:42, I guess. And New Ulm's going to continue to try and push, start to get their first goal of the game and first goal of the tournament, and see kind of what they can get shaken. And Mahtomedi is looking to continue to probably manage some ice time for their guys, be smart, continue to do things the right way, avoid getting in any bad habits, and continue to build on their 6-0 lead as they look towards the semifinal against, again, the winner of tonight's next matchup in the final game of the first day of the 75th Boys State Hockey Tournament. The 4 seed, the Greenway Raiders, who defeated Hermantown, the Hawks, a staple in this tournament in Class A for years. They had won 9 Section 7A tournaments in a row to represent 7A here, and actually had beaten Greenway in overtime of the last 2 of those. And this year, Greenway finally got Hermantown in double overtime at Amsoil Arena, and so they'll be taking on the 5 seed, the Delano Tigers, who have yet to give up a goal in the playoffs. So an interesting matchup tonight that pits a team that kind of is the sweetheart or favorite team of the fans across Class A and the Greenway Raiders, and an extremely well-coached, very good defensive hockey club in the Delano Tigers. So should be a fun matchup here as we look towards that, probably starting around 8:40 to 8:45, somewhere in that range.
Absolutely. So shifting gears a bit, we haven't really talked about the Double-A tournament since that's going to be somebody else's responsibility, wink, wink. But how do you think that's going to shape up? Certainly Edina, the heavy favorite as they should be. Well, there was some who was saying that really maybe the 2 through 6 seeds kind of interchangeable, kind of between Edina. I think Duluth East and Lakeville South were the two teams at the bottom that people kind of said, yeah, that makes sense to have those teams at the bottom of the seedings. But with Eden Prairie got the 3 seed, which generated a lot of commotion. There were those who thought Moorhead should have gotten maybe a better seed than they did.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting about that is Moorhead beat Duluth East.
This one taken away in front of Raymond by Peterson, who was able to make the save on the point-blank shot.
But the key to remember when we talk about state seeding, and you know, now the argument is why you don't seed 1 to 8 is a valid one, I believe. But the seeding is done by the coaches of the participating teams, and so you rank 1 to 7 the other teams in the tournament, and you do not rank your own team. And so it's a conference call that these rankings are then revealed on, and it tells you who's playing when and the logistics of it, etc. And it happens the Saturday before the state tournament. And so it's a conference call that you'd love to be on every year because it means that you've got a nice week at the X headed in front of you. But so that's the big key to remember is the coaches in this field believe that Eden Prairie is the 3rd best team based on their resume, their team, and how they've performed this year. And so, you know, like John Ammerman and Moorhead needed any motivation because they're a fantastic hockey team and extremely well coached. And at the same point, so is Duluth East. And you've got legend Mike Randolph bringing the Duluth East Greyhounds down here yet again in March. It just seems like, you know, I-35 down here to St. Paul is just a street that they're normally taking here at the first week of March and coming to the X. And so I think, you know, any of the 8 teams in the Class AA could legitimately win this thing. But it's going to be interesting to see. I like Edina a lot. I've got who I believe will win Mr. Hockey and Bryce Brodzinski and Blaine as a team to definitely watch out for as the 2 seed. And I really like their squad. Man, they've won 17 games in a row. Just incredible to sustain that at any level of hockey, and let alone when you're talking about high school athletes who are still maturing, still learning to grow their mentality. I mean, that's an impressive feat, and they believe they're coming here to win the whole darn thing. So, and you got Eden Prairie, who's a former champ, and should be a fun day tomorrow to kind of shake out who we're going to see on Friday evening's 2 Class AA semifinal games, which will be right here at Xcel Energy Center and right here on mnhockey.tv.
Absolutely. So Pete and Bart and the guys will take you through the Class AA starting tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. 4 more games on the docket tomorrow, 4 on Friday, 2 in each class, and then, of course, the 2 championship games on Saturday afternoon, and then Saturday evening, where we got that huge snowstorm apparently on its way in this weekend. We'll have to see how that might make a mess of things as well. With under 5 minutes to play in regulation, with the Zephyrs holding a 6-0 lead. It's certainly an important point that you brought up, that the coaches are responsible for the seeding, so a lot of the complaints perhaps about the Eagles getting that number 3 seed really not warranted, simply because it was the coaches who made that decision in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. And now, you know, if you had a team that, for example, put Eden Prairie as the 1 seed, for example, now there may be some discussion around how that may have come about, etc. But, you know, I think the coaches do the best that they can to be honest about it and be in the competitive spirit of this beautiful game that we love so much and are lucky to be involved in. I think, you know, the seeding comes out and it is what it is, and you got to win 3 games to take home the ultimate goal of the state title anyhow. So that's just your goal. That's what you got to do. It's time for no more excuses. It's March. Win games.
Absolutely. As the Eagles able to drive down into the offensive zone, there's a shot off Schugel that's saved by John Poirer, who took over about midway through the 3rd period at one of the TV timeouts. Zephyrs quickly back into the offensive zone with Peterson. That's Dylan Duxon who drove in on the net there. Duxon had a shot saved by Raymond. Of course, here on the Class A side, we've been shown again tonight why Mahtomedi is so dangerous, why St. Cloud Cathedral is so dangerous as well, and I think that's, you know, the matchup that a lot of people are expecting to be there on Saturday afternoon. I think certainly I think no one would be disappointed if we got a matchup other than that, but certainly I think it's clearly the two best teams in Class A. East Grand Forks might argue a little bit with that, but as we did see earlier in the regular season, a matchup between the Zephyrs and St. Cloud Cathedral that was won by the Zephyrs 6-2. So
yeah,
certainly I wonder.
Don't sleep on Greenway. They're a top 10 Class A team, finished 9 in the Let's Play Hockey polls, and Mahtomedi was 2. St. Cloud Cathedral 5, stumbled a little late. And Mahtomedi, who beat Totino Grace 5-0, and Totino Grace was ranked number 3. But Greenway, number 9 team, knocked off number 1 Hermantown. So it's March. That's the fun part, is you get the opportunity to strap them up just like everybody else that's here and drop the puck, and anything can happen. And so it's, we kind of get to kick off March Madness here anyway. We get the state hockey tournament, then we get some college hockey tournaments, and next thing we know, we've got the basketball going on simultaneous with the NCAA college hockey tournament. And last year we hosted the Frozen Four here at XL Energy Center. Minnesota Duluth won that. And so March, such a fun month, and hopefully all of us Minnesotans can bring in some warmer weather and maybe a little less snow.
Sure hope so. As under 2 minutes to go, 1:45, we'll hit our final TV timeout as a shot in on Raymond is held onto. So certainly there's a lot to talk about, a lot to digest from today, even though there weren't really any surprises. We'll start to get some of these top seeds playing each other on Friday. As Mahtomedi leading at 6-0 with 1:45 to play. See how they fare against either Greenway or Delano on Friday. It'll be the late game of the afternoon. Or a puck drop, like I said, probably around 1:45, 2 o'clock, the way things have gone here at the X so far.
Yeah, they got to tell you 11 so you tune in on the TV side of things right away. It gives us an opportunity to chat through kind of the game, what we're thinking, maybe some things we're seeing or hearing from coaches or resources around the state of Minnesota, and just gives us a good chance to hopefully set the stage and put a nice picture together for y'all at home to sit along with us and listen, and hope that you're enjoying your Wednesday evening. Hopefully you're inside and it's warm, and you're hopefully not at work anymore. And if you are at work, we thank you for being there, and we're glad we can help you pass the time and bring you the greatest hockey tournament and the greatest high school tournament in the world.
So through roughly 3 games, as now the Eagles have taken Jack Raymond out of the game, and Kyle Esser will finish the game in his place. Well, a stellar game for Mr. Raymond as he saved 49 shots on 55 attempts. He was kept busy all night and really had some spectacular saves.
Yeah, he was fantastic, really was, especially early on. Kept the Eagles in it. Didn't get a ton of help clearing out some rebounds in that first period, but other than that, man, he was real good.
So through 3 games, what are your impressions thus far of the 3 games that we've done?
I think the 3 seeded teams have all shown us why they're seeded and why the underdogs were underdogs coming in. But, I'm excited for the nightcap here tonight. That should be, most people talked about that 4-5 game is generally the best game of Wednesday and Thursday in Class A and Class AA respectively. And I hope it is today. I hope we get a barn burner here. I hope it's a fantastic hockey game and a lot of fun for these kids as they close out Wednesday here at the X.
As we're under a minute to play, as a couple of Zephyrs collide trying to gain the offensive zone, the Eagles will play it down to the near side as we're under 35 seconds now to play. There's a shot that's saved by Porer, and we'll have an offensive zone faceoff for New Ulm with 30 seconds and counting to go. So, we've had 3 games. The 3 top seeds have all won, and they will all advance to Friday afternoon. The 4-5 game still to go. Following this one, as the clock ticks under 15 seconds. Yeah, the Zephyrs play it around their own net. They get it out toward, not quite out to neutral ice. There's perhaps one last shot for New Ulm at the buzzer, and they don't quite get it off. As the top seed Mahtomedi Zephyrs, with a dominating performance this evening, they beat New Ulm 6-0, and they advance to the semifinal on Friday afternoon against either Greenway or Delano. We'll wrap it up quick here, Nate. Thanks for being here with me this evening. I got one more game to go, but really I think we talked a lot about why these teams are seeded the way that they were, and Mahtomedi showing why they're such a heavy favorite.
Yeah, definitely. From pretty much start to finish there, Mahtomedi handedly took care of New Ulm here. The Eagles gave an exceptional effort, made a great run to get here. A couple of upsets in the section tournament, and I tell you what, it's been a fun day so far. And Mahtomedi, sticking with the chalk, as we mentioned here. 2 of the top 3 seeds now with shutouts on the day as well. So those top seeds are doing what they need to do and showing why they earned the top seeds and why they're looking primed to play on Friday in the semifinal games and battle it out to give us 2 teams to get into that state championship game at noon on Saturday, right here on mnhockey.tv. And looking forward to day 1 of day 4, so we've got 3 more awesome days of high school hockey here coming up, and including here another game this evening in roughly 31 minutes. The number 5 Delano Tigers and the number 4 Greenway Raiders from XL Energy Center to close out Class A quarterfinal day here at XL Energy Center.
Can't wait for that one. Again, as Nate said, about a half-hour wait. So for Nate and Todd Mulliken, Pete Wagner, John Sands, this is Patrick Lilia signing off for another half hour. We'll be back in 30 minutes with the start of the Greenway against Delano game. So stay tuned. You're listening to mnhockey.tv live radio coverage of the Tourney 19